Hello everyone, welcome to Carlucci's Kitchen. Today I'm making egg rolls. I'm going to fry them up, but I'm going to make egg roll in a bowl first. I'm going to make it in a wok, add some ingredients to it, and I think you're going to like it. And I'll tell you, it's very simple ingredients, not hard to make. I think the toughest part is going to be when we fry them, but I'm not that good at frying things, so we're going to give it a shot. You know, what do you want for an amateur? So anyway. So I hope you like it. Let's get it started, and we'll see you on the other side. Okay, so we have the onion, the garlic, and the ginger. And we have some sesame seed oil heating up from medium-high in the pan. And then we have some vegetable slaw, which I like to use. This has a little bit of carrot in it, some broccoli. They got it chopped pretty good in the bag. So then once you have your ingredients there, we're going to take some ground pork. I like using the Butcher Box pork. It's a very good pork. I like the taste of it. It's very good. Then we have some liquid aminos, which is a soy sauce. It's just a little bit, I like the taste of it. And then we have some chili garlic sauce, which is pretty spicy. So you got to be careful when you're using that. And then we're going to take all these ingredients and we're going to add them to the wok. So now, once you add the garlic, the onion, and the ginger, you're going to cook this together until you can see that the onion is transparent, okay? Because you don't want it to be crunchy, you want it to cook a little bit. So it takes a few minutes, and once you see that you got that all sauteed up, then you're going to take the pork and you're going to grind the pork up. You're going to chop it up, I should say. You're going to get it to be a little bit, going to chop it up and make sure that it's not big chunks. And you're going to let this cook a little bit with the onion and the garlic and the ginger. And then once this is nice and cooked up, make sure all the pink is out of it. Once you got that done, and you see that it's nice and cooked, there's no more pink to it. Everything should be pretty good right about this point. It doesn't take long. And then what we're going to do, once we know that everything is well cooked, you're going to push it aside. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take the vegetable slaw, and we're going to cut the bag open, which I should have did already. Of course, I didn't cut it open too good, so I got to kind of fight with it a little bit. But once you get the vegetable slaw there, you want to make sure that the vegetable slaw is wilted. You want to cook it a little bit. You don't want to just start mixing it up right away. So we want to make sure that the vegetable slaw is nice and wilted. And it takes a few minutes. Just take your time with it. Don't rush it. This meal doesn't take long to make anyway. So once you see that the vegetable slaw is wilted and it's cooked a little bit, takes a few minutes, then you're going to start taking the pork little by little, okay? And you're going to add that to the vegetable slaw. And what I do here is I make sure that the slaw has been mixed up and start to cook the one that was on the top, and just kind of mix it up a little bit. And then I'll start adding the pork to it very slowly, because you want to make sure all the flavors are getting together on this. So it just takes a little bit of time. And then once you get this all mixed up together, you're going to let this cook for a few minutes. You want to make sure that the slaw and the pork are nice and mixed. You could smell right off the bat, once you start mixing this all up, it's got a nice smell to it, especially the ginger. The ginger is very good in there. And you got to use fresh ginger. You can't use powdered ginger. Everything here is pretty much fresh. So I usually buy the ginger and I'll chop it up in chunks and I'll freeze it. so I can use it all the time and it's always ready. Then once you feel that this is all nice and cooked, then we're going to start adding our spices. Now again, the chili garlic is very spicy. Um, what I do with that is I'll just use a tablespoon. I don't use that much. And you're better off using it a little at a time, because if you put too much, you cannot take it back. So everything that I'm adding here, I'll just squirt a little bit of the soy sauce in there. I don't really put that much of it. They tell you a couple of tablespoons, but you're going to have to just use your judgment on this because you don't want to make it too salty. So once I put the soy sauce in there, I'll mix it up a little bit. And then you can start tasting it as you're going along to see if it's just right. Now the chili sauce, again, like I said, I only use a tablespoon. And I'll take the tablespoon and I'll just spread it around a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And that's it. That's the most I'll put in right now because it is very spicy. Get it all off the spoon. And then this takes a few minutes because you want to mix this. So what I do here is I get my metal spoon and I'll just start mixing it a lot better this way. And I'll just keep mixing it up until it's all incorporated nicely. And again, just take your time with it because you don't want to leave big chunks of the chili sauce because you'll wind up getting a mouthful of that and then it gets pretty hot. So once I have this nice and mixed up, then I'm going to put this aside and make it cool down a little bit. Like I said, I just want to make sure this is all mixed and ready to go. So these are Nasoya egg roll wraps. They're pretty good. I like the taste. I like the way they come out. They're just very thin, so they're a little difficult to get off the wrapper. And they're not individually wrapped. They're actually laid on top of each other. So I tried getting this one off. I think I ripped it a little bit, but you got to just take your time with it. If you do get them, you can actually freeze them. And that's what I did. I individually wrapped them and I froze them. So turned out pretty good. But anyway, I'm going to put this the name of this brand in the description. And then I continued and I will show you now how to make them the right way. So here's another one. This one came off a lot better. And you're going to add a little bit of the ingredients to it. You're going to take the bottom, flip it up, take one side, flip it over, take the other side, flip it over, and then you're just going to roll it, just like that. Nice and tight. You don't have to go, be gentle with it because like I said, these wraps are very, very thin. Okay, so now the frying begins. So I got the oil pretty much to the temperature of about 350, 325, 350. And as you can see, I have one in there already. I may have put too much oil in this. And again, I'm not a big frying guy, so I didn't want to put too much oil and immerse them. I wanted them to cook a little at a time, one side and then flip them to the other. So once you see that they're getting brown, and then what I did here was I just kind of flipped them over. And these got nice and golden brown. These wraps are pretty good, I'll be honest with you. I'll get the name and I'll put them in the description below. Just make sure the oil stays at a good temperature. Because if it starts to cool down, they're not going to fry up that well. So I just made sure that I took my time with it. And then once you see that they're golden brown on the top and bottom, then you can use either the little tongs that I used, or you can use a little basket like this. I was experimenting, so I think it came out better when I used the thongs. Because on this one, on this particular fryer that I have, it's got a little grate up on top where the door is. And you can actually let these sit up there for a little while, and I'll show you in a minute. how I use that. Just have a little paper towel and a dish ready, or a couple paper towels. Just lay them in there and let them start cooling off. And then what I do, once I got these aside, and then I'm going to add a few more to them. I was doing 2 at a time. I think I made about 10 of them. So I popped 2 at a time so you can keep your eye on them. I just didn't want to fill it up, and then I wind up the oil cools down too much. And then after that, you'll have what I call a mess. But this is what they look like. Came out really nice. They look great. And I'm going to show you how I put them in like a little teepee. Okay. So this is how I should have used it. You put them on top of the door. It's got a little drip tray. And then I also made a little teepee out of them so that the oil will drip down. Look at that. Came out really good. This is pretty much what I wanted them to look like. Very nice. So here we go. The dishes are beginning to load up. And we had to heat the egg roll in a bowl a little bit because it had to cool down, but look how nice that looks. Beautiful. Look at that. Very nice. So that wasn't bad. They came out really good. I'm telling you, you couldn't, I mean, I don't eat a lot of egg rolls, but they were delicious. They really came out good. And I'm going to put all the ingredients and exactly how to make it in the description below. So this way you guys can do it yourself. But as always, please subscribe, comment, okay? Because I love to hear from you guys. And just share it. And hopefully we can make some more of these videos. As always, bon appetit. See you next time. Thank you.